So pretty much, I've just been spending a lot of time with family, kind of assessing my life and kind of what direction I want to kind of head towards. Obviously in the XFL, I kind of suffered an Achilles injury. So I've kind of had to take a step back just to kind of see what I kind of want to do, whether I want to keep pursuing football, whether I want to begin my professional career, in the business world or whatever that might be for me. So I've had a lot of time just to kind of relax and slow down and pretty much reflect on life because up until this point, up until the pandemic, as I'm sure it's probably been the same thing for everyone else, I've really just been going 100 miles an hour, with college ball, college, the NFL, XFL. And so it's pretty much like a forced stop. And it's really given me a chance to kind of just slow down because I don't really like going slow. So it's giving me a chance to slow down and just kind of assess where I am and kind of where I want to go towards in the future. So. Well, so I think it was really cool when I first came to Hayes. I had a bunch of different interactions with people from pretty much all across the country. Whether it be Florida, Nebraska, Colorado, obviously California, New York. There are people from literally all four corners of the country, and just being in that diverse environment really allowed me to be able to interact with different people, communicate with different people, and just kind of experience different backgrounds, through their stories, I guess vicariously. But I think that's probably one of the things that, really helped me prepare for, I guess, the real world at the NFL because the same diversity, you experience on a football team, in college, it's the same way in the NFL, in the XFL, vice versa. It's pretty much a huge melting pot, so that was something that I was accustomed to. And then also the kind of work ethic, that I had to, endure while, at Fort Hayes. I'm sure that's not the same thing that, other teams probably go through because it's part of the reason that we were so successful. It was a really smooth transition, going into the NFL because it was always like, excellence was always, demanded at Fort Hayes. And, the coaching staff really made sure that we were responsible adults and taking care of our bodies, taking care of academics, whatever we need to take care of to be successful on the field. And so obviously that all was all passed on when I made the transition to the NFL and XFL, because at that point you're a professional and they expect you to know how to take care of, on the field issues as well as off field issues. So that's kind of how my time in 4Ks prepared me for that. I guess you could say it would be the camaraderie, the relationships that I was able to develop. Obviously, when you look back at it, you have the two championships, conference championships, and when I was in high school, I was same as a lot of my teammates. We didn't come from winning programs, so when I first came here, I probably had maybe 4 or 5 total victories in high school, and being able to be part of the development of a championship football team and pretty much being part of, the team when we were up and coming to, when we ascended almost, to the top, that was really cool for me, being able to witness that firsthand and be a part of it. And, even now I look back at it and, I call the guys and talk about it, when we play games at Northwest. Those will pretty much stick with me for the rest of my life and being able to say that, we achieved something and accomplished something even though we weren't able to take it all the way. And I'm still watching back, making sure I'm expecting the team to keep moving that forward and take the next step in the playoffs and hopefully bring a championship to Hayes. But, for the time that I was there, that was a cool accomplishment for me. And it was really nice because I had something to look back on and say, we accomplished this together. Dude, I got so many. Okay, I'll throw out a couple. One of them, the first time we beat Northwest in the the first time we beat Northwest in the conference championship at their place. I remember it was like the last drive, and the interception that Connor Shadid had caught. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I remember that play. I had went to jam the receiver that I was matched up against, and I had in the process I dislocated my shoulder because it was late in the game, and literally fatigue was a huge factor. I dislocated my shoulder, and I literally made an attempt to try to turn and run with the guy. And I was like, I'm thinking in my head, if they throw to this guy, he might score because I can't run anymore. And all I see is I look up and the ball's in the air, and I see Shadid intercept the ball. And at that point, I don't know if I dropped to my knees or was just like, bro, like this is the craziest thing I've ever been a part of. So that was one of the experiences. I mean, another one was the first college game I played as a freshman at UCO. Probably, if you're accustomed to Jorge's, you probably don't remember that one because it wasn't a huge game. But it was the first ever game I played at UCO. It was it was a nail biter, and we had to drive down the field, and it took a field goal to win the game, and we came back, I think, from 21 down or something like that. And that was my first college football experience. And that was when I kind of knew that, this is the real deal. What you're stepping into, this isn't a joke or a game. But those are just two of my favorite experiences. I could go on and on, but I won't. As far as my off the field favorite experience, I got a lot of those too. Honestly, you could really just collectively say the time spent bonding with the guys, on the team, and just really being able to meet a bunch of different people and experience, what Hayes had to offer as far as the community, the staff at the schools. There were just really a bunch of great people there that really had a tremendous impact on my development as a young adult. And that's probably the best thing that I can say, because as far as individual experiences, there are just too many great ones to single out one. And, everyone there just had such a huge impact on my character as a person. Being able to come to a small town and see that everyone has so much potential and respect, just for love and thought, and everyone cares for each other, and everyone wants to see each other succeed, whether it's, football team, golf team, basketball team. And on top of that, academics too, we're all coming together, we're all giving back to the community, and, no one is better than the other. So that was just a really cool experience for me, and just seeing what Hayes has to offer. And that's probably what I'll take with me for the rest of my life. And that'll always be a great memory for me, just knowing that there are a bunch of great people in a small town of Hayes that you probably would have never even known of, if you didn't go to school out there. So that's probably that for me. And the only thing I probably could say is that, it's probably a tough time for everybody right now with the uncertainty regarding the football team and the program. But I know that, probably just the best way for us to kind of push through this is together. And while it's going to be a hard time for everybody, it's probably been the craziest year that I've been a part of. 2020 has been ridiculous, but I just know that, if we keep pushing through, we're going to be fine together. It's not the end of the world. If there's no football, I kind of had to realize that myself when I got injured, because I didn't know really what to do with myself. But as far as, as long as there are relationships, and as long as you have people that care about you, people that love you, then, life is going to move on, and things will get better. So hopefully we can all just stick together and push through it. And I do hope things get better quickly, but I'll miss football too if it's not there.